Thank you. I feel greatly honored to be given the opportunity to chair this important gathering, which is the marking of the United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. I don't need to say this, that we have a battle to fight. Drug abuse, drug and substance abuse is with us. Data reveals that close to about 200 million people worldwide are either involved or affected with drug abuse. When it all started, we thought it was a problem for the West. But gradually, we Africans, and specifically Nigerians, were very good in learning both the good and the bad. Heavily represented by one of ours, pharmacist Yahaya Meyaki Dodondawa.
The advocates, you are not decorated for nothing. So I am also advocating to the advocates that we should be meeting regularly, even if it is not possible physically. It should be virtually. It is therefore very important that before we appoint a secretary, let me be a little bit autocratic by saying that the youth leader should be the temporary secretary, and therefore should link up with N.D.L.E.A area commander, get our names and telephone numbers, WhatsApp numbers, so that we can be meeting virtually. His Royal Highness, I'd like to Dr. Yaya Abubakar sent his protestations. And I was asked me to thank N.D.L.E.A Bida Branch, the area commander, for putting up this big show. In 2021, when WADA was inaugurated, I was at the State House representing the Royal Highness. I represented in 2021 at the State House. I represented in 2022 at Mina. Today we are here in Bida and representing him. That shows the seriousness that the Royal Highness attaches to this war against drug abuse. While I was at the State House, I was meeting Brigadier General Marwan that Bida Emirate was indeed ahead of them. We established committee 2017. It was done by His Royal Highness to check the menace of drug and substance abuse. And that was the time that I was meant to chair the committee. And I think for the next 1 year, I received the greatest insult in Bida that I have never seen. Everybody was insulting me. What I did, I'm not broke. What I did, I'm happy, you know. Which is being I'm very happy that today the narrative has changed. It really means And the only way we can succeed is through perseverance. Despite the insults, move on. Despite the abuses, move on. Once you're on track, keep moving. Infected. And I shared this with my good brother here, that the highway to success has no parking space. Keep moving. And this is the only thing that I'm going to tell all of us here, that we have to keep moving. That time that he asked me to chair this thing, it's only that I attended the water. Anywhere there are issues of security, which usually borders on drugs, they asked me to attend. And I came up with a disease condition that time that does not require surgical operation.
To amma ne na ga yayin cikin benci ta ya shawara ci gona zai jo sai jona kila ti daga gaya zai shi mai kuna kila ti daga gaya zai shi ibn annabi ga zane da kenan wa ci ba zane le ko yake na tomato faci na ne yake so ji na a ci ba zane je kuna a ci ba kuti annabi mai da ẹgbọ́ kó tó bí ẹ̀zàmẹ́jì ó tó àkádáyà ẹ̀zàmẹ́jì náà tó kí nígbèjì ó tó àbẹ́rẹ̀ nígbè àgẹ́dà wọn nígbèjì ó tó mẹ́yìn náà nígbèjì ayé yìí náà gọ́bà fún ọ̀nà àrídájú ó tó àpò sókè wọ́n nígbèjì lé wọn lọ́rùn ọjọ́ máa jì ilẹ̀ àkẹ́kẹ́ ó tó náà láìpẹ́ láyọ̀ ẹ̀zàmẹ́ ó tó nínú ọmọ ọdẹ abin wajen kanki kan daga wa kanki ko ba ji za kanki ba yi su ko ne kanki ba ta ya abudu wa ya nasta'in ihdina siratal mustaqim siratal ladina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin amin subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Spoken well, and the lecture was so wonderful, and what brought us all together here is about lives and destinies that need to be secured. And in addition to all that has been said, I just want to say two important things. Number one, deliberate discipline is actually necessary. That's what our royal father was actually hammering on, deliberate discipline. And like NUPE people will say, so it is very, very necessary we take deliberate discipline over our lives and over our homes. And I pray God will help us all together.
Today is a very beautiful day. And don't think that it is about the N.D.L.E.A Bida area command only. It's a worldwide activity. The United Nations recognizes today, 26th of June, as the World Drug-Free Day. As such, being the number one in drug intervention and prevention in Nigeria, the N.D.L.E cannot be key into that particular area. So that's why we are all here today. We want to thank the N.D.L.E.
You got that is in the thick. This is a guy that don't got you back. I'm son of you. So dan dai zai ji ba na bukata na wallahi gaskiya da wani wuta ya yi wake insurance ne a lomi iciji amfani da yana zagari nan bayan shi kamin dora ce fari tufa a ga ƙoƙarin da ya yi ci faruwa na goya nan ƙoƙarin kago ya authority ko yin fiscal kago da ƙoƙa ce ko yawancin nan wace ku kawo bai da kago wa kun ga ya gani sun kun ga ga ku yawancin ko ga su suma ko ku yawancin da gani sun kawo da ku ba wancan.
The influx of this hard drugs to the society. Now the demand reduction aspect of it, which is more humanitarian in nature, is done through advocacy, and by that I mean seminars, symposiums, enlightenment campaigns, and even rehabilitation, counseling and treatment of those who have had contact with those substances of abuse. Though the demand reduction mandate, which is more humanitarian in nature, has been dormant over the years, the present management of the agency, aided by the visionary leadership of Brigadier General Buba Marwa, in a bid to taking the war against drug abuse to the grassroots for effective service delivery, has revived it via the inauguration of WADA.
I want to take a moment to express our gratitude to each and everyone present here. We really appreciate you. Despite your tight schedules, we find time to be here with us. I would like to thank our speaker for the powerful presentation, despite the impromptu notice, the N.D.L.E officers for their tireless efforts, and our sponsors for their generous support. We thank you all. As we live here today, let's remember the knowledge we have gained. Drug abuse problem is everybody's problem. When we put our hands on deck, by the grace of God, we will overcome this land. Thank you all again and have a substance-free day.
Drug and substance abuse, community ma ko shishi lafiya ko gani ga ko ni adi da debo ka community shishi lafiya da tumbagabo
substances commodity abuse. Some terminologies we need to take note of: the burden of substance abuse in this environment, the causes of substance abuse, the effects on individuals, society at large, and the way out. And that's the pain of this discussion today. Substance abuse basically refers to the use of harmful or hazardous substances, basically psychoactive substances. These are mood-changing or mood-altering substances. Okay? When they are used in such a way that is harmful or in unintended or unprescribed ways, then it is an abuse. And different kind of substances that have been abused range from alcohol. There are drugs, even prescription drugs, which are given in the hospitals by medical practitioners. Opioids, painkillers, sleep medications, they are being abused. There are some drugs that have been bought in pharmacies, in chemist shops, that have been abused, like cough syrups, right? Cold medications, they have been abused. And the straightforward illegal drug or illicit drugs, these are the bigger ones, the heroin, the cocaine, the marijuana, ecstasy, and
ba ta ina mai kwan je na la da dina da go lokacin da ta bana ene ja lai ci ka waya labarin nan ga mani sarai be manyan makanta ne be man ne ja bonnan pasto ne ja bonnan e ju makanta ja bonnan ngwa yi pe ga yanna tun da gambon wai cho mu je la nda je da gambon wa je uzuri ya lishi mu ce da makanta har da lokacin ma ga je uzuri ya kenan. So, yamanci gondo uzuri da wai ko sarani na yaji ebo ilai ni liki abona uzuri da wai ko sarani ebo na uzuri ga ba tiambo nga daki mmaga be da be kiyani to wa shi de so ko ga be ti yo ga ti na na mayina na ba ni na wala cha uzure chi de na da je jambani be ni mo je ti okoko ba na wala cha ambani bi re e bo ne tun daga no ta pa no ko no nga no cha ambani ti be chi de de yo tun daga na mo uzuri na da ji chi uzure cha ni do no e bo bo tun daga mbo e man chi ndoro ga ku ku gini sarani e juji be ni e ai ne ju ja da no.
Really thank you once again for coming for this program. Before we go into the decoration, I want to explain a little bit of what we are doing this morning. We are decorating WADA ambassadors and WADA advocates. By WADA, I mean War Against Drug Abuse. Now, the essence is for us to kickstart the inauguration of the Community War Against Drug Abuse Committee and the Local Government Drug Control Committee. The essence is for all hands to be on deck so we can collectively fight this monster that is bedeviling us. And so when we have the traditional rulers as ambassadors, we have the heads of security agencies, I mean law enforcement. heard the Mayak in NUPE very clearly. It wasn't done in isolation. I made consultations. And it's done in accordance with the inauguration of the Community War Against Drug Abuse Committee. This is just a prelude. And so what we expect from them is that the war against drug abuse is an elaborate one. It cannot be done by just one agency alone. And so we need collaborators. We need to involve the community. And that's why we are bringing the community in it. And so those that have been decorated as WADA advocates, what we expect from them is they go back to their various communities and carry the message of the war against drug abuse to the rural community where we might not be readily available to discuss with them. And most often, most of us that are here are not indigenous. And so it's difficult for us to speak the local dialect. But with those people that we have decorated today, they will be able to pass the message across even to the rural grassroots in their local dialect. And so gradually we are going to win the war against drug abuse. Young generation, because they are our main target, we are trying to catch them young. By the time we continue educating them on the dangers inherent in this substance abuse and they key into it, the next generation is going to be better than this one. And so all we need to do is for all hands to be on deck. Let's not be tired of carrying the message along. It will sink into them gradually, and at the end of it, we all will be happy that we did what we are doing
so much. The ambassadorship is meant to form alliance and then join on with the N.D.L.E. command and the advocate to take the campaign to the grassroots against the drug abuse, so that our society can be peaceful for us to live, and then the rancor, all this unnecessary taking of illicit drugs, all of them will be eradicated in our society. And that's the message and we are promising that we will be a good ambassador to make sure that the message we have been taken to the grass level. That's